That's right. We are live here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter X. I'm Rob Eggers along with Roy Herman. This, ladies and gentlemen, is our live stream, our weekly live stream of House Jack City Backstage Sports Edition. What's going on, Roy? How we doing today, man?
Welcome back. I've missed you, buddy. I really have. It's good to be back on the air.
I know, man. We having a lot of stuff going on. I know in our personal lives, and we say we're mental health enthusiasts, and we are, and we're backing everybody. We know what everyone's going through, the times that we're going through here,
Absolutely.
and our world itself. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, right?
So, right.
It's just one of those things where we all just have to kind of take some time. We were going to go on yesterday, and I'll share, man. I had a mental breakdown yesterday, so it is what it is, But you call it another day. And, that's why we're going to be starting out the show today. We have a lot going on, including some talks about Caleb Williams and OTAs, how he's doing. NHL Game 1 starts tonight for the Stanley Cup Finals. That's going to be a great series. I'm very excited to watch that. That is ready to go for me. And then we also have some side news for those who follow the international player pathway. Previous guest James Cook was on, the head of the NFL IPP. Our guy Louis Rees-Zammit, that was signed with the Chiefs, he had himself a nice home run in the Chiefs softball charity event. So I'll have to pull some info up later down the line for that. We'll probably end the show with that. We'll see. But some cool things are going on with Louis Rees-Zammit. I'm very excited for him. He might be starting. He might be getting signed and then starting to be their kick returner. That still to come, and we talked about that in previous shows, haven't we?
Beautiful story,
isn't it?
It's really a rags to riches story, right? It just shows that in America, we still have dreams that are possible, and no matter what you do, and when it looks hopeless, if you work hard enough and you're just timing, you can achieve anything.
And that's right, and this is what I'm trying to tell people, man. Like, legitimately, I've seen this man work for 10 weeks at IMG Academy, and he's just a monster. And just seeing some videos of him right now, the similarities of what he's doing with the Chiefs is very replicated on what he was doing in his training at IMG, I should say. So yes, it's something to really look forward to. And man, go back to some cuts from our previous shows, right? And say, this man might be starting. And I don't know if you guys remember those that watched the Coach Paul Dunn and the James Cook shows for that matter. They both think that there's always potential. And Roy just said it. When you put your mind to it, anything can happen. And that's one thing that we want to get into. And it's a good segue for mental health, Roy. You had a good story that was announced this week by the MLB. The Boston Red Sox had to put one of their relief pitchers, aka their setup man, on IL due to mental health.
Yeah, it's a good and it's a bittersweet story. It's good, it's bad, right? So as you know, of course, I cover the Red Sox through the Yawkey Way Report. My deadline is in a couple of days, so I've got 2 more stories that'll be coming out. Yawkey Way Report, check them out online. If you're at Fenway Park, pick up the editions. But Chris Martin, 38 years old, so he's not a rookie by any means, right? And this isn't his first rodeo. He's been around, he's been a closer, setup man. He's had success, good career. And he pitches in the major leagues. He pitches at Fenway Park. You would think this is his dream job, and he's living the dream, and he should be happy. What possibly could he be really stressed out about or worrying about, right? We know what Major League Baseball players make. Minimum salary is $750,000 last time I checked, right? Mm-hmm. You think life is good. But yet, Chris Martin went to Alex Cora and said, I'm having anxiety attacks. And he goes, when I'm warming up, I'm training, it's getting to me. And he goes, I think I need to take some time away, and I need to get my head right, and I need to get this under control. Alex Cora said, thank you, Chris, for being honest. Thank you so much. We will get you the help you need. We're going to put you on the IL, but they're not going to rush him back. They're like, just take the time that you need as a human being right now, because that's more important than the game. And yes, the game is a business. They want to draw fans in, they want to make money through TV, merchandise, ticket sales, etc. But what I like is they're valuing a human life over the job in hand, and also the bottom line, the money, right? If something happens to Chris Martin, God forbid, the game goes on. They'll just put another body in there. But the thing that I like is they're valuing him, and they're saying mental health is a thing, folks. This isn't just something you suck up that I've been told or I've heard people. Other people are afraid to share their stories, and they confide in me and they tell me, because they said if they tell, then they're afraid that they're going to be pigeonholed, stereotyped, uh, canceled, right? Or just
Right.
told, suck it up. And that's old school mentality. People have pressure no matter what job or what thing you do. So I'm really glad that he is taking the time. I hope whatever it is he gets out of this, I hope they'll share it with the rest of us, so we can know. But sports, a lot of teams have opened up and said they have sports psychologists, they have mental skills training. So they are really increasing the efforts, like in scouting, analytics. They're doing this on the mental health side with sports psychologists and mental skills. So I'm really happy to hear MLB is doing this. I know in the NBA, DeMar DeRozan has spoke out, and he's trying to get the NBA on board, because let's just face it, right? A lot of people in the NBA, they use cannabis, okay? And a lot of players and people get criticized for it. They're using cannabis for a reason. They're not just trying to be Cheech and Chong. They're using it because they're trying to cope, right? Sports isn't as easy as people think. You got to play in the NBA 82 games. In baseball, it's 162. Baseball, you're away for 6 months. You could be from your family, right? Traveling city to city, and then you worry about if you get sick or something happens, someone's going to take your job. And so, for whatever it was that was bothering him, I'm sure this is in the back of his mind, that if I go out there and get blown out, my ERA is like 20, and I don't say anything, I can get designated for assignment. So he did the
Right.
right thing. He came forward. They'll save his roster spot. He'll get the help that he needs. He's earned it at the age of 38 in his career to come back and have his job protected. So kudos to them. NFL, they're getting on board. I know, obviously, with the head injuries, that
Right.
also relates to mental health. So we saw the movie Concussion. So I don't know what the NFL is doing out on it, but I hope they're doing a lot, and I hope they're taking notice from DeMar DeRozan, Chris Martin, and these guys that are speaking out. So I just wanted to bring that out to folks, that why did he go on the injured list? That's why. Why is a Major League Baseball player stressed out, especially playing in Fenway Park? And there's a lot of stress. You got to talk to the media.
Oh yeah.
You got to prep. You got to
Mhm.
travel. You got to call home. If you have a wife and kids, you got to make sure they're okay. Even if you don't have a wife and kids, you still got to take care of yourself. I mean, there's so many things out there. So take care. Everybody take care of yourself. And it's not just for common people. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It can affect you. So just take care of yourselves. That's all. And kudos to Alex Cora and the Boston Red Sox. Chris Martin, get well. We hope to hear a good progress report when you come back. And that's all I wanted to report on that story. So,
No, it's amazing, Roy. And see, that's the thing that I like to talk about, because not a lot of people talk about that. You don't see ESPN talking about that, Sports Center talking about that. And if they do, it's very brief, and they're probably going to put
just a
on a
little
30 and
blurb.
30, right?
Yeah.
A 30 and 30, and they'll have some way, shape, or form to go back in their childhood and say it was due to some type of traumatic whatever. But here's the thing, that it could be true, but there's a lot more to it. So just with how the Boston Red Sox organization, or some would say organization, will handle it, has been handling it, I got to give a round of applause to them for that, because that just shows that they're a championship molded team. They're a championship front office. They have integrity. All right. I spit that word around a lot because integrity, in my opinion, is very important, especially with a organization like the Boston Red Sox. So with that said, that's another reason where I'm at right now. I had to give you a call yesterday. I don't mind sharing this, give you a call and tell you that I just was not mentally prepped or prepared to entertain. And that's what we're doing right now. We're entertaining, right? We're giving out our our opinions and how we feel about certain things, and we bring up these topics for a reason. And that's another reason, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear from you. We do want to hear from you. We are checking out all our socials, and you can follow us, as you can see in that corner right over there, at HJC Media Group. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, and of course on our Facebook page, which is House Jack City Radio, which
Thanks for
we'll be
spending
changing soon.
some time. Thanks for spending some time. Thanks for inviting us into your household. And thanks for just hanging out with us, really, because that's what it is. This is what we love to do. And we know so many people out there love sports. And it's just another platform, if you will. And we're not coming in here with a corporate America agenda that a lot of sports stations will. They got to have the ads and the sponsors, and they got to have their rhetoric. We're just coming on just like you guys. We're just two guys that love sports and trying to live our best lives.
And I have an update. No, it is very hard, but here's what's not hard. It is hard. 6 turnovers in one quarter. I've never heard of that combined by both teams here in the UFL. Watching the Birmingham, I don't even know their names.
Stallions?
Stallions, yes, Birmingham Stallions. The UFL
so.
side, and they played the Michigan Panthers, and they just won the championship. They scored 31 unanswered points. Come back in both quarters. It's insane.
So help me understand, because, all right, I told you this pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
The first XFL in 2001, I got behind.
Right.
It failed.
Yes.
Second one, when it came out in 2020,
failed.
I got behind it. I gave it a second chance. I was actually a fan of the Tampa Vipers. I wrote them. They sent me some merch, which was really awesome. I was really into it. And then they folded again. So then it kind of just got me a little like, well, I'm going to get behind another league like this, and it's going to go away. But now the XFL merge, right? It was the USFL, the reboot of that, but not like the 1984-85 one. It's just a spring league. And it's just a way for players to get more practice in, more reps, just to be scouted and seen so they can get to the NFL. They're not trying to compete. But help me understand, with this merger of the XFL and the UHL?
Oh, it's the USFL, yes.
USFL and XFL. So now they call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the story?
United Football League.
Is this going to make it? I mean, I'm waiting to see if it makes it before I invest and get behind it. But help convince me, average fan, why I should get behind it. Do you think
the Birmingham Stallions won 31-18 against the Michigan Panthers? I'm looking at this right now, and I'm looking at the crowd. Man, if I had to say, maybe 8,000 people. I mean, it's not that much. But see, here's the thing. It's just like us, right? Let's talk about that. We just started and it kind of rebooted what we did back in the past with Sports Preview in Bolingbrook, Illinois, right?
Right.
Now we're in this new technology era where you and I can simulcast, which both of us are doing right now. I'm here in Florida. You're there in Illinois, right? So that's what we're doing.
Right.
And we have all this cool technology, and it's gaining interest with other people, right? So with that said, my philosophy for what they're trying to do, my opinion as well, is that I think what they're doing is combining both leagues, which is smart. Put the money in one barrel, mix up all these rules for both leagues, see what's going to work for both leagues, vote on it, go forward. And I'm liking it so far. I watched a little bit of it. Nice. They have a little bit more of in your face action.
Okay.
Cameras on everybody. I think it's Mike Fiera is the vice president of officiating for the UFL, and they do it on the spot. So here's the difference between the NFL and what the UFL does. The UFL, for replays or official reviews, they go right to the earpiece. Okay. So it goes right back. There's a camera on television that's placed there. They're showing how the replays are done live. They're communicating live. They're letting the officials know what's actually happening in real time. For example, there was a play today that it was a fumble where they were doing the forward motion, right? Well, the ball they were looking at, I'll bring this nice NFL ball in real quick. The ball, what they were looking at, let's see if you can, let me widen myself out here a little bit. So the ball was coming out of the hand like that, and that's what they saw. So forward motion because of the wrist and the fingers moving forward. They called it. They called it perfectly, in my opinion, Roy. I think the NFL should look into how they're doing these replays because they're quick. Now, let's talk about why the NFL is not quick. They go to reviews, and what happens? They have, just like we're doing right now, the split screen, and they have a Geico commercial or Progressive commercial or whatever. So they're making money during these plays, right? Why do you think a lot of these official timeouts or any of that? That's all, in my opinion, rigged, man. They're just waiting for that one little moment. For example, like a Tom Brady rule, right? The forward motion. They're waiting for that to occur so they can go to commercial. I have a fan on, so you see my green screen flopping behind me. So yeah, I honestly feel that the NFL should look into what the UFL is doing. They're already looking into the kickoff rule, right?
Right, where
That's what they're
the
doing now.
ball is kicked,
Mhm.
nobody can run until the receiver catches it, and
Correct.
then the guys could start running, which is gonna help with the safety of the concussions and the things like
Correct.
that. In baseball, you have the Frontier League, you have the American Association, you have the Atlantic League, and so those independents used to be like maverick, leagues,
Mhm.
but now they're actually partner leagues where MLB is trying out things to see if they work there. The larger bases, the pitch clock,
Right.
uh, maybe umpires who have earbuds in their ears and computers calling balls and strikes, right? So they're testing all this stuff out. So is the NFL doing that with this league, maybe unofficially? And do you think they will strike a deal like it's treated as an independent league and try to say, hey guys, we'll pump maybe some money into you if you're willing to try things for us, which will make us better, and we can line your pockets a little bit.
Exactly. And that's why I feel that with the concussion protocol, and it's kind of funny and ironic you bring that up. Do you have that Dave Dorson picture behind you by chance yet?
I don't have it behind me, but
I
it
put you
is
on the
here.
spot. All right,
Yeah,
cool. We'll have
it
to
is
get that on
here.
the next show. So behind
Yes.
that story, what I just asked Roy is that he went ahead and took over my Dave Dorson autographed picture that I got back in the 80s. So he's taking really good care of that. Once he gets that frame for it, we're gonna have to
Yes.
show it because
It will be on.
he's the man that literally had his brain looked at
Mhm.
from the NFL to kind of look at what concussion protocol is
He kind of
today.
started it
He
off
started it off.
almost,
There it is. Yeah.
right? Because Mike Webster, if everybody saw that movie Concussion,
Yeah.
you know,
I have not actually, believe it or not.
oh my god, you
I
gotta
have to see
watch
it.
it. You have to see it because Mike Webster, the way he was living, it was horrendous. I mean, here he is, a hero, a Hall of Famer, a Greek god, like, how
Mhm.
the Greeks, had their gods and Zeus and whatever. And this is how the NFL is with their football players. These are their gods. And the way he was living in a van and he died. So the long story short is that Dave Dorson was in the movie, well, an actor, but um, one of your guys that played for the Eagles, Andre Waters. Okay, they
Andre
called him
Waters, yeah.
Dirty Waters. He approached Dave Dorson, who was a high up in the league as far as a rep, asking and crying for help. And Dave Dorson was like, get out of here, man. But it was finally later on, Dave Dorson started to decline. He was a sharp businessman. He was on the board of directors at Notre Dame. He had a sausage company. He was supplying the sausage pays at McDonald's. All of a sudden, his business went down. His marriage ended. He got divorced. He wound up in Florida. Wasn't feeling good. Wrote a note, shot himself in the chest, and said, I shot myself in the chest to preserve my brain. Please study my brain because I think something was wrong up there, and that's why I declined. And there you have it. CTE was born.
And that's, it's an unfortunate thing that can occur when you have to do something like that. And, hey, everyone with mental health issues, we have all had those days where we think that the world's not good enough. But with that said, Dave Dorson left this planet and started helping people and save lives, technically, if you look at it that way. It's a bad way to look at it, but in a way, if it never happened, how far would this have gone and how many more people would we have lost?
And
I
there
mean,
was more. I
you know,
mean, Junior Seau, Aaron Hernandez,
Aaron
when they did
Hernandez,
his autopsy,
you
that he had
man,
CTE, and his lawyer said, had we known that beforehand, his court case might have been different. But you
mm,
see, the problem with CTE is it's undiagnosable until after posthumously, where they study the brain after. So
right,
they can't get in there and take a look at the brain and then sew you back up. You have to
exactly,
be deceased. So
absolutely, and that's why it is sad. Like when Junior Seau passed away, that hit me hard, man.
mhm.
I was young too when he passed away, but maybe young, I don't know. I'll just say I was young. I was young when he passed away, and it was definitely hit the sports world. And I looked up to that man, dude. I thought he was one of the best linebackers in the league,
He
even better
was.
than Urlacher. No offense.
No, none taken because he was in the 90s. Definitely. I remember the 1990 those gold pro set cards that came out, the action pack they were called actually. And his
Right.
rookie, that was one of my favorite cards. But Chris Berman, when he would do his 60 minutes of NFL highlights, and you know how he always would throw stuff in, he's like, Junior, what a hit. Say ow.
That's right.
I
Say
loved it.
ow. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But you know what? On the '04
Mhm.
Patriots in '05, he was at the age of 43. If you go back and you watch, he was on those teams. They lured him out of retirement to play. And with the shaved mustache, it looked so weird because the mustache was his thing, right? But it was at that point, you're like, he probably shouldn't have been playing. And he just loved the game too much. And that's what did him in. Too many head injuries, you know? So
And we want to hear it from you guys out there listening in onto my personal Facebook, on our YouTube page, and on our Twitter X, which I'm still trying to figure out how to give the steering wheel over to Roy, which what Roy will be playing on Twitter X more than I will be because I am not a social media guru guy. So I'm doing the best I can on Twitter X. Hey, listen, once Roy gets on there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're going to get
I have a
much
personal
beautiful,
one for now.
beautiful.
And,
Yeah, what is
you
it?
know,
Let's go ahead and make sure we put yours out there
let's
too,
see,
Roy.
because I always do the at, and then I tag people. On the White Sox game last night, there's actually a girl who's a gymnast. And so the White Sox have been sponsoring and doing some things with NIL athletes, and it said hometown Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Oh, yeah, I
I
saw that. Yeah,
paused
you
it.
sent
I
that to me.
backed it
Uh-huh.
up. I took some pictures of that. I
Mhm.
posted on social media. I tagged Bolingbrook Events, our mayor, some of the trustees, because we got to give our hometown, especially our youth, their props. You know, we got to stand behind them. So, what is my Twitter handle? That is a good question.
Well, we can find out later. Either way,
SBC.
we'll figure it out. I just know that
I'll fart around with it here while you're on and
Roy's going to
in
be
between.
taking over our House Jack City one, and he's going to be posting some awesome stuff. Roy, do you have any news on when you said the Yawkey Way report when we started the stream? But when is your next headline coming out?
Next headline's coming out. Well, the deadline is a hard deadline, June 10th, right? So that's only a couple days away. I'm writing two stories. I'm writing the 20th anniversary of the 2004 Red Sox that broke the curse, right? And then also, I'm going to write a story on Alex Cora, who's currently a lame duck manager, right? You would think a manager of his magnitude who has won a World Series, who's been successful. He was suspended for a year from Major League Baseball. The Red Sox fired him, brought him back because ownership really liked him. Look what he's done with this team, though. It's been so many injuries. They were rebuilding with Chaim Bloom before he got fired. And Alex Cora is continuing to get this team like at 500 or above, just to where, look at the White Sox and what's going on there, right?
Right.
But Alex Cora's got his team. He just always has his team ready and prepared to play. A couple things. Number one, he's looking at Craig Counsell, who signed for $40 million. I don't think that anybody else is going to do that because Craig Counsell, let's face it, I got some concerns. Is it the system or is it the guy?
It might
And
be the gay.
In Milwaukee, Pat Murphy, a career bench coach from the University of Notre Dame, by the way, he's like 65, takes over the team, and they haven't missed a beat. So Craig Counsell goes to Chicago. He is Could David Ross have done the same thing he's doing? Of course. But he's got injuries, to be fair. The point of the matter is, I don't know if he's going to get the 40 million. He's also said that he wants to possibly be a general manager or move into a front office. He's 48. Another thing he said is he might take some time off with his family. But he said a contract will not be discussed during the season. They'll have to look at it at the end of the season and then go from there. Point of the matter is, after Counsell signed that deal, I'm sure he's going to set the bar high. Will there be a desperate team out there like the New York Mets that might say, hey, we'll pay it? Steve Cohen's got some deep pockets. Maybe the Houston Astros bring him back because, let's face it, the Astros, after Dusty retired, they're not playing well this year. And Joe Espada had a lot of interviews with a lot of different teams, including the Cubs, wasn't getting any job offers. Everybody's like, why isn't this guy going to get a chance? He's got the job, and the Astros have. So maybe the Astros are a good landing spot. Maybe they pony up the cash and say, come on back to your organization where you were bench coach, and maybe he resurrects. So that's going to be a stay tuned situation. I'll be writing about that. Once the June 10th deadline hits, it'll go to print. It probably will be coming out definitely within the month. Again, so to buy it, you have to be at Fenway Park as one of the patrons out there. They're on sale all over the streets out there. If you go on to Yawkey Way, if you go on to Beantown Collectibles and you look at the Yawkey Way Report subsidiary or YawkeyWayReport.com, there's a comments or there's a thing that you can send them a message. So I'm sure you could send them a thing and say, hey, I want to buy a copy online because I'm not there. And I'm sure Sly and the guys will take care of you. So,
hell yeah. Well, I'm very proud of you, Roy. I'm excited for you. You're one of the few that are writing for it. So that's definitely something to be very proud of.
I'm just a small cog in the wheel. There's a lot of talented writers on that team. There's some writers who have come out of there who have gone big, right? And the bottom line is, Sly is a Marine. He's a U.S. serviceman. This was his dream and passion that he started up from the ground up, small business owner. It gives a guy like me who wouldn't have a chance to write for the Boston Globe or Sports Illustrated or ESPN the magazine when that was out and all those other things. It gives me a chance. Wow. It's like indie ball. It's a small business, right? And I'm getting a chance to do what I love to do. So I have to thank him. And of course, Robert Sanzoni, who is my editor, for allowing me this opportunity. Because I wrote in college, and that was back in the 90s, and I won some awards too. But it had been a while, right? So
right.
I've come out of retirement here, and to have that opportunity, it scratches the itch, and it feels pretty good. So
awards, what are those, Roy? I know we were supposed to get like a billion of them, but what are those? Awards? Nah. What are those?
Yeah. I got third place in college for a couple of stories I wrote. I got a little scholarship. It was $500, but still, I had a scholarship. And then let's see, I wrote for the Bolingbrook Sun, if you remember that newspaper back in the day. That was a paid little local newspaper that was out around town. Now it got absorbed through the Herald and the Tribune, but I actually made it in the Bolingbrook Sun. So. But then I switched gears and got into broadcasting, PA announcing, and the rest of my story. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was.
Well, why not do both? Why not do both?
Why not do
both now? Right?
Why not do both? Stay busy, man. It's good for the mental health, as we always talk about.
Absolutely.
And so I want to try to get into my Instagram here real quick and show you all something. Before we get into the miscellaneous part. We're about 33 minutes in. We're gonna do about another 10, 15 minutes, I would say. I know you want to get into Caleb Williams here, so I'm going to pull this up real quick. 1 second. All right, that's ready to go.
Oh, and I got my Twitter handle.
Oh, let me pop it in. Hold on.
All right.
Go ahead.
At Roy Herman, 285045. Yes, it's not customized. It just is what was generated. But it's mine, and I'm proud of it.
There we go. I'm going to pop that up there real quick.
Follow me.
There it
At
is,
Roy
ladies and
Herman.
gentlemen. Take a picture.
285
045.
045. And I post things from time to time about the Bolingbrook athlete who was, when I see something, I'm going to post it there. So check it out. Because usually I don't waste posts. I don't just post junk or propaganda. It's usually when I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
So I was telling you guys earlier in the show when we first started that Louis Rezamet, the gentleman I followed for 10 weeks and had the honor and the privilege to video him for all 32 teams. And look where he landed, Kansas City Chiefs, right? Well, this man is making a huge name for himself, and he is just anything he touches in sports is just he's just a god. He could be the next freaking Michael Jordan of this era for his country, let's say, right? He's a really good player, man. Check this shit out. Watch this. So this is the Kansas City Chiefs softball charity. Boom! Fucking cranked it. And look at that little soft walk he does, and there's what the teammates do. And this is off Lewis's Instagram, by the way. Wow. Make the tunnel. Look at that.
He's an athlete, man.
He is,
and he's from Australia too, correct?
No, he's from Wales.
Wales. Okay.
My Australia guy, though.
Because they play some cricket down there, which isn't too far off from baseball.
I'm gonna type in some. Here we go. Let's get Pat in here. Here's Mr. Pat Murtaugh.
Some of the cricket, that translated over, but that just shows you what a heck of an athlete he is. That he could just, and you got to see him and actually be up close and personal. So that's going to be a fun story to watch. Really
I got to see these guys. Watch this. Look who's throwing to him.
One-on-one never again.
Trevor Lawrence. I see that here.
My guy Pat. Look at that. Get it, Pat.
Get Trevor Lawrence.
Don't own the rights to that music, by the way.
And you know who's in the front office there, don't you? Tony Khan.
Yep. Good old Tony.
So if you're a football player playing for Jacksonville and it don't work out, you kind of got a hookup where you can go upstairs to Tony Khan and say, "Hey, can I try my hand at your AEW?"
Oh man,
dude, I would, right?
Hey, if anyone's listening in wrestling, I would love to just be a part of the professional wrestling. I'm not too far. I'm about an hour and a half away from the NXT Performance Center. Hint, hint. Need any type of production,
just go down there,
any type of creative, any type of anything. You want me to hold a screwdriver while you're putting in the ring?
Show up.
Stands, whatever. I'll do it.
Like DX did the WCW when they just showed up there, man, with the tank and they were trying to get in. Remember that? And they were closing the garage door.
Oh, dude, that's probably one of the that's when everyone's basically said you're breaking the fourth wall of what they did there. But I would love to. I'd love to try it. You never know. I might just walk in. Might just show up.
In, man.
Might get escorted out by security. You never know.
Hey, so what? You never know until you try it, right? TNA did that too when they had the James Gang with Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. And they went outside to WWE headquarters, but they blurred the WWE and they were waiting out there. And this was like around 2006-ish. So they were trying to bring that back, but that bombed. That didn't work out. But I did like the nod there that they tried to redo it, like they were going to invade the headquarters. So pretty cool stuff.
That's neat. That is neat.
Go invade it. Show up, Rob.
I will try. What do you got
to lose? Tank of gas. Oh well. You're not going to get arrested.
No, definitely not going to get arrested.
Just show up. And just say, hey,
Let me see. The reason I'm slacking here, I'm looking at some of our old things I wanted to show us in the past. Get sports knowledge videos. Let me see what I got in here we can play. Maybe not. Those aren't appropriate right now. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. We want to know, what do you want us to react to? Me and Roy will be searching, making some polls on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. I want to thank everybody for subscribing, commenting, and sharing our page. We really appreciate that. Our YouTube channel is what we're mainly focusing on right now, but of course, we got to give all the other social media some love. Facebook, Twitter, X, and Twitch. So everybody, if you can, give us a follow right up there at HJC Media Group. Type that in your search bar. You're already here. If you're here watching, we thank you. But we
Speaking
want
of
to know.
polls, right? We learned this at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Segues.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking about polls, Ryan Poles,
Polls.
the Chicago Bears general manager, selected
Bravo, Roy.
Caleb
Bravo. Take
Williams.
some notes for what Roy just did, ladies and gentlemen, looking to
See what
get
I
into
did there?
broadcasting. It's called the segue. Not what you ride, but what you do
So
in broadcasting.
he drafts Caleb Williams, right? And then, of course, the Patriots took Drake May. Now we were in May, OTAs, and there's been a lot of stuff going around that Caleb and Drake May both struggled, right? They had their moments, but they struggled. Now I'm hearing that they're doing a lot better. But the problem is a lot of people were panicking. I know here in Chicago, sports fans have some PTSD over all the bad quarterbacks that have come through these doors. The point I want to ask, and I want to ask you, the viewers, and you, Rob, these are rookies. Things are different than college.
Right.
Caleb's struggling with the cadence, right? The right guard is hearing what the left guard's hearing, and everybody's the snap count. And in college, a lot of time they could just clap their hands and go hike like backyard football. But in the pros, It's a lot different. And so anyway, that's what he was struggling with. So the way I see it, these are just minor things that could be fixed. They got time off now. They got 6 weeks to July to get ready for, mini camps. My thing is, I think everybody just needs to chill out, because I know New England's having some problems too, going, well, we just had Mac Jones and he was a failure. Okay, I get it. But give these kids their chance. It was only May. Their noses will be buried in the playbooks, and then they're gonna come into mini camp. I don't know if Drake May is going to be handed the starting job. He did get elevated to number 2 right now, but Caleb Williams is going to start. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be a lot of pressure. But let me ask you this question, Rob, or fans. Are you guys worried? Or do you think he's going to come in and get the Bears to, I don't know if I want to dare say playoffs, but have them at, a good season? I mean, what do you think? Is it too early to panic, or just give these kids some time and let them settle in? I'm stirring the pot right now. I'm trying to get everybody's reaction, because I have my opinion on it. And my opinion is it's early. Let the kids just kind of marinate. When the bright lights hit, Caleb Williams will be ready. That's what I'm saying. But I want to know what you got to say.
Well, are you worried, fans? Caleb Williams,
Are you?
just his first few weeks? I mean, OTAs are going on. I mean, it seems like around the whole league that a lot of the people that you think are going to shine aren't shining. Look at what's going on in Minnesota. No one's really talking about Minnesota. Is Minnesota going to take the North? We don't know. I mean, they look powerful. They just signed Justin Jefferson. You should be scared, right? Bears fans, you should be scared. The Packers are going to be playing in week 1 against the Eagles.
Those Packers are already polished. Their quarterback's already proven himself.
Yeah. And let's find out what's going to happen in week 1 against the Eagles. And they have to go to Brazil. There's a lot of the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have a motive here. And the motive is with Caleb Williams, I've been noticing too much of bullshit social media posts. Why are you swinging a bat, bro? Don't swing a bat and post on social media. If you threw 7 interceptions in a 7-7, was it 6 interceptions or 7 in 7-7 drills, right? And they benched him.
Right.
Either way, he threw multiple interceptions in a 7-7.
Yeah.
7-7.
It's not good, right?
If you're throwing shit like that, are you going to be able to see the field correctly at a faster pace game in the NFL? Let's be real. So this is where I told you from the get-go, Roy, I don't know what to think about Caleb Williams. I don't know how to feel about Caleb Williams until the season
The
starts.
bright lights start.
Everyone was about this with Justin Fields, and I still think that Justin Fields, if he has the right crew around him, the Chicago Bears organization is going to be like, man, we fucked up. We fucked up somewhere. We got the wrong guy. We got another Mitch Trubisky in the wings here. And, no one was really excited about getting Mitch Trubisky. When you trade up over, we don't want to go there because I know you're going to get upset about it.
It was a project.
But my point is, yeah.
He was like Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Projects. When you have the number 2 pick, you don't take a project. You take a finished product. If you want a project, go get them in the 6th or 7th round.
Right.
Tom Brady at the time was a project. And that was a pretty damn good project. That turned out pretty damn good.
So, right? Caleb Williams, fans, are you worried? I would say I would be a little worried.
Chicago's going to be worried because Chicago, I'm just going to speak for the city. There's too much quarterback PTSD of the past. All right, Sid Luckman in the 40s, Jim McMahon in 85. That's about it. Harbaugh had success here. He didn't get us to a Super Bowl. He did good. Eric Kramer, he had some good statistics. Again, these weren't Hall of Famers by any means, though. And then you got to go to like Jay Cutler. I don't even want to talk about Rex Grossman. That will really freak people out.
Paper, pen go together, right? Why is it not working? Why is it not? Because there's no ink in the pen. Caleb Williams is going to have to make sure he has a full amount of ink in this pen because he's going to need to write on that paper. Mm-hmm. And on that paper, ladies and gentlemen, he has weapons on the outside. He's going to need to be painting and inking up those receivers because
he's going to put the work in. I know he is. He's definitely going to do it.
I want to go back to this, though, Roy, when he said...
Because you have the right coaches, though. Shane Waldron. But we don't even hear about the quarterback coaches.
Yeah, but hold on, though. I'm still afraid of his scrambling abilities. He's going to get murdered in the NFL. And he already said, I don't like scrambling. I don't really like running. But if I have to, I will. You know what I mean?
But he can. He just doesn't want to. He's trying to distance himself from Justin Fields being the scrambler.
Yeah, but whether or not, I think he's given too much away. Whether people think he might be trolling or not, I still think he's giving too much away. And then all of a sudden, once he gets drafted, I'm a Chicago Bear. Mother effer, you didn't want to be a Chicago Bear. You didn't want to. You wanted to be a Commander. You know what I mean? You wanted to go there. You wanted to go where you came from. And that's fine. Who doesn't? Like, Roy, if you got drafted, wouldn't you want to play for the Bears? If I got drafted, wouldn't I want to play for the Eagles?
You know what? At this point, I just want a paycheck. So I'll play for whoever wants to call me.
That's true.
The older you get, those things change. When I was 20, I would have said I wanted the Bears. And if I got drafted by the Packers or anybody else, I would have been pissed. At this point, hey, man, how many zeros are in that contract? All right. I'm insert your team name there. I'm an Atlanta Falcon. Woohoo!
Make sure everyone to follow, like, and subscribe for free. Twitter, X, YouTube, and IG at HJC Media Group. Want to thank everybody. We're going to be coming to a close here shortly on our live stream. This is where we go into the miscellaneous part of the show to end it out. And I like to play something nice and cool here. Nice little vibe to go into the miscellaneous side. I love the violin. I'm obviously a DJ producer as well. I love little ambient stuff like this. It creates the mood. It relaxes you. And especially you, Roy, I think you're a little bit more relaxed as a White Sox fan. The White Sox have finally, you like what I did there? You like my segue? They finally won a fucking game after 14 straight losses. Go ahead, Roy. Let's talk about that in the miscellaneous part.
I want to point to Pedro Grifol. You lose 14 in a row. You win one game. And one of my friends, John Vogel, says to me, well, that just gave Pedro another week or two of employment. I would love to have a job in corporate America, screw up for 2 weeks straight, make tons of errors and mistakes, and then get it together for one day. And then they go, okay, Roy, you're good for, now we'll evaluate you in another couple weeks and we'll see how you're doing. Okay, because that wouldn't happen. You're fired. All right.
You're
I would
fired.
love to have the job security that Pedro Grifol has. Lose 14 in a row, and you don't have to even worry about it.
He must be in with somebody in that good old Chicago.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't
Something
like
must be
paying
going on
guys
over
that
there.
aren't working. So if you fire Pedro, he goes home. You're paying him to go home.
Right.
And now who wants the job? Nobody. Charlie Montoya has already said, the bench coach, I don't want the job. Tony La Russa is 80. He just had a bad pacemaker and cancer. He probably shouldn't be taking the job. Who else? You already alienated AJ Przinsky. You fire him as an ambassador. Ozzy, but, this team does. Ozzy's better on TV. I'll be honest with you. You know who would be the best manager for this team right now, Rob? Rick Renteria. He taught the White Sox from 16 to 20. He just taught them. He hit fungos. They did basics. He gets them to the playoffs. And what do the White Sox do? They fire him. They bring in Tony La Russa for the finished product. He did the same crap at the Cubs. He taught the Cubs after Dale Swaim. He gets the Cubs to the playoffs. They fire him for Joe Mad. Bring this guy back. Let him teach. He's a good teacher. He's a good culture builder. That's what you need right now.
Wow.
I'd call him up. Hey, Rick, we're sorry, but people don't know how to do that because then that means you have to put your ego aside. Rick, we're sorry. Would you please come back? I don't know if he would. I don't think he would. He'd probably say, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I would
Thanks.
say I'm good. I would.
So
probably
who
say
wants
a
this
couple other
job?
contracts I had too. I'm good.
Nobody wants this job, Rob. That's why Pedro Grifal's safe.
Yep.
Until he says uncle, or until he says, hey, guys, I'm having some anxiety. I think I need to step away. And God bless him because he hasn't yet. So
you have the July deadline coming up, and I know you want to talk a little bit about trade. Do the Sox even do anything this year, Roy? Do the Sox make some moves, or do they just
everybody,
wait? Everyone just
Paul
fire
DeYoung
sale
at
it?
shortstop right now. Okay,
Get him out.
He's gone, and then you make way for Colson Montgomery. But again, don't ruin these kids, right? They haven't shown that they can develop them. Anyway, Tommy Pham, you're gone, packing it up. Who else? Hey, they're talking to Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert to the Padres right now. The Padres are interested. I'm hearing the Dodgers maybe on Luis Robert. Just pack it up, get all the prospects you can. Luis Roberts 26, and I use air quotes because he might be 32. Their birth certificates aren't usually accurate when they come from other countries. But anyway, he keeps getting hurt a lot. So now he comes back. He's hitting a couple home runs. His stock is high. Trade him now. And Crochet had Tommy John surgery. I know he's the ace, but you're not ready to win a World Series. You're going to waste the kid. Go ahead. Everybody, Andrew Vaughn, see you later. Prospect it up. Prospect it up. Get as much as you can, and then you need to get a good teaching manager. I would love to see a guy like Joe Girardi come in. Joe Girardi would be perfect.
Joe Girardi.
Just somebody to teach. Just to teach. And this is last thing I got to say here. If I was managing, I'd say, all right, guys, ballpark every day, 8 a.m. We got a night game at 7 o'clock. Get your asses here at 8. We're going to start out with yoga. We're going to stretch because you're all getting hurt. We're going to do yoga for an hour. Then we're going to get done with yoga. Then we're going to take ground balls. I'm going to hit fungos to the outfielders. And then we're going to take a break for lunch. We're going to come out. If you guys want to hit the weight room, you want to work out, go work out. Then we're going to come out. We're going to take batting practice. And then you can take another little break, and we're going to get ready for the game. Coach, that's too much. I don't give a crap because you're making millions of dollars a year. You guys don't know how to play. You lost 14 in a row. We're going to treat it like a Little League. Now, here's the deal. To give you guys some incentive to show up, win, and then we don't have to get there till noon the next day. You win, you don't have to get there till noon. You lose, we're here at 8. So now the team's like, well, damn, noon sounds a lot better than 8 a.m., right? We can sleep in a little bit. You're going to have some incentive to try to win. You have to start there with these guys before you can graduate. The Xboxes, the video games, that's out of the clubhouse, man. Like Billy Bean and Moneyball. Why are you guys having fun? Hear that sound? That's silence. That's what losing sounds like. Not fun. So I treat it like a Little League team, man. And Rick Renteria, he would be the perfect guy. I'm just saying.
NHL, man. I'm not sure if you're going to be watching it.
You're the NHL guy here, it seems like, and I'm the NBA guy. I'm so stoked about these NBA playoffs, and you're the NHL. So we're the yin and the yang. This is good here. But go ahead and
All
plug
right,
your NHL.
Let's finish it off real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to finish it off like this, ladies and gentlemen. But before I say what I have to say, once again, thank you everybody for the subs, for liking and sharing, and always tuning in to our channel, even if it's live or you watch everything post live. Make sure to go to our YouTube channel. This will be up and posted immediately following our live stream, and that is at HJC Media Group, which I'll be putting up in the corner here shortly. Make sure to follow us, sub, like, and subscribe. Overall, I say sub already. Yes, I did. Subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we love you. Thank you guys so much. So with that said, we have the Edmonton Oilers versus the second appearance of the Florida Panthers, and this, Roy, is going to be a fantastic NHL series. Connor McDavid in his first NHL appearance. Both organizations
Golden Goose
have had either one, they never won in their franchise, or it's been over 20 plus years. And Edmonton Oilers, the last time they won it was with the great one, Wayne Gretzky. So that's something to look forward to. And is the drought of Canada going to end here? Is Lord Stanley crossing the border and going up to Canada, or is the Florida Panthers going to win their first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history? This is going to be a phenomenal, hard-hitting game. McDavid leads the playoffs with 31 points, 5 goals, 26 assists, and a shot at breaking Wayne Gretzky's record of 31 assists in the playoff year set with the Oilers in 1988, ladies and gentlemen. So we have another record that could be on the line here. So yes, Edmonton is also the leading goal scorer. Forward is Zach Hyman with 14 goals. You just have a stacked group on both ends. You got Bennett on the other side. You got man, why am I blanking right now? Kachuk is on the other side. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know if you are a hockey fan, you'll be tuning in to game one tonight. It's going to be hard hitting. You got some of the best power play killers in the league. You got some of the best power players in the league. You got some best hitters, it's just going to be an overall good NHL. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight on ESPN and ABC channels. Make sure to watch it. There's my NHL gig. Roy, go ahead with the good old Celtics. The Celtics made the Mavericks look like shit. So I just want to let you know, I didn't know what route that was going to go. I just thought game one, either way, was going to be a blowout because you got Porzingis. What is his name? Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis is
who
back.
used to be with the Knicks.
And he was drafted by
But
the
our
Knicks.
other
They hated
friend
him.
and
Then he
former
was with the
comrade,
Mavericks.
Nick Russell, he was a
Yep.
big Kristaps fan, and then he got traded away, and then, that whole thing happened. But he's
Yes.
had a second win here with the Celtics, definitely.
Yes, and that's what.
Go ahead.
And I know he just came back from injury, the calf injury, and he was out there in the first round. They didn't know if he was going to come back and start, and he just lit it the F up. I mean, why are you going to give him that perimeter shot? That's what he works on. Don't you watch the tape, ladies and gentlemen?
It's only fitting for me to refer to Bill Walton here, the late Bill Walton, because they're all wearing patches for him. And if he was alive, he'd be here because Walton won it in '86 here at the Celtics. And I'll tell you this. So you got a great team already in Tatum.
Mavericks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tatum. Yes.
You got a lot of great guys around that roster, right? You have your Jason Tatum. You have your but Porzingis is like a luxury. He's the Bill Walton to the Kevin McHale and the Larry Bird and Robert Parrish, that team was stacked. So when you have Porzingis now healthy, everybody was worried that extended time off, they were going to come back and be rusty. Not so much so. Luka Doncic's playing with a bad knee. I saw him wincing so bad last night trying to go up and down the court. I mean, I got to give my props to him. He shouldn't even be playing. But this is the title. This is where you make your body do some things you normally wouldn't make it do. So the only other thing, and Shaquille O'Neal said it best on the postgame show, is he goes, my other superstars have to step up. So where's Kyrie Irving over there? Why isn't he stepping up? He's got to step up. The other guy's got to step up. Do the Mavs have enough, or are they just riding Doncic. And Doncic, if he was 100% healthy, you could ride him, and he could probably single-handedly win you the title. But he's not at 100%. Porzingis is healthy. He's the Bill Walton of this series for the 86, or now it's 2024 Celtics. So at this point, I got to say the Celtics look like they've got it. It's early. It's only one game. Tomorrow's game 2, so I'll definitely be watching it. But my money right now, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I don't want to get banned from anything for life or anything like that.
Right.
But title number 18 might be getting raised.
In 5, or are they doing it 5 or what?
Woo! Well, let's see. I don't know how much Doncic's knee's going to hold up, and unless Kyrie Irving just goes out of his mind in the next 2 games and just goes off, it very well could be 5.
I'm going Celtics in 5. I think they're going to take it. I think Tatum's going to get his first
Dallas
of many.
has to do.
Yeah,
they gotta. Luka Doncic's got to get some good pain shots in his knee. Kyrie Irving's got to just really go off and score 40, 50 points and have the games of his life.
Probably not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my opinion.
That's mine too.
Well, in my final opinion, I'm going to go back to the NHL. My pick.
Yes.
It's really hard, but I honestly, I do like the Florida Panthers, but on paper and by aggression and by the best NHL player in the world and Connor McDavid, I see Connor McDavid getting his first, and it could go to 7 games, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
I think so.
It could be a 7-game Stanley Cup. And for those who don't know, this is the furthest traveled games per opponent from Canada to Florida in the history of the NHL Finals.
So Sunrise, right?
It's like 5 hours, 46 minutes, and it's over 3,000 something miles. It's crazy.
For us dumbfounded Midwesterners, where is Sunrise, Florida? We all know Tampa, we all know Miami,
it's right next to Miami. It's right next to Miami.
No,
yeah, it's pretty much Miami.
Because it's
yeah, it's right. It's on the outskirts of Miami. It's away from all that bullshit that's over there, and it's about 3.5 hours from where I'm at right now. But I've been to a game. I went to the Lightning and Panthers game. I think it was a year and a half ago.
Emily Arena. Yeah.
2 years ago, maybe, I believe. No, it wasn't Emily. We traveled. It was a playoff game. It was an elimination game, and the Lightning eliminated the Panthers. Ooh. So yeah. We got some more peeps coming in. We want to say hi to all those coming in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I want to give us some shout outs as well before we take off.
I'm going to give you I'm going Panthers in 7.
You're going Panthers?
Upset.
Panthers in 7. Okay. Panthers in 7. I'm going to go with the Oilers in 7.
I against the Bruins, because I like the Bruins. You don't.
Not a Bruins fan. Fuck the Bruins. Sorry.
When they beat the Bruins, I said, okay, I'm going to pay attention. And I started paying attention, and this Florida team showed me something. They've shown me a lot. And I know Connor McDavid, the league would like to see nothing more than its superstar Golden Goose get his first title. And that would be cool. I have his rookie cards, so I have an investment in him.
Oh, yes, you do have an investment.
But I think it's a cool story for Florida, who isn't really a hockey city per se, as Canada is, for these scrappy underdog guys to win it all and just, stick it to the league and say, oops. Our Connor McDavid's got to wait for his first title because the trophy is in Florida.
That's right. Well, Roy, with that said, another successful live stream. We want to say thank you to the ones that joined in. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, give us a follow, a like, subscribe for free at HJC Media Group. And with that said, Roy, any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to say to the crowd before we sign off on this live stream?
Love you. Have a good weekend. Watch your NHL playoffs. Watch the NBA Finals. Watch baseball. Just do what makes you happy and be safe, everybody.
And God bless. And with that said, that's Roy Herman. I'm Rob Eggers. You guys have been watching our weekly live stream of House Jack City Backstage Sports Edition. We'll see y'all. Peace.